everybody, this is Gail Sawchuk, and I am a team leader in Colorado. And this is a little bit of my story about how I went from being stuck in the myths to making recruiting my one thing. This is a presentation that I gave at the Rocky Mountain Regionals in April of 2016. So we are going to go through some common myths and ones that I have struggled with, each to a different extent. And so I'm guessing that you may be struggling with some of them as well. And then we will talk a little bit about some of the tips and motivation that I got from reading this fabulous book that has been life-changing called The One Thing by Gary Keller and Jay Papasan. And the basic premise of this book is that there are just way too many things for us to possibly be doing and on our to-do list, that when we want to be successful, we need to really figure out how to focus on what's most important to get us moving forward. So let's start with this first myth. That people, especially in the beginning, feel that it's selfish to recruit people because it benefits you financially. And I definitely felt a little bit of this myself. And what I found and realized is that we really only earn money off of people if they are recruiting and working, and we have built our team and become a team leader. And so it's actually a giving thing for us to ask people to join and to help them succeed in the business. And as you know from all of the rewards that you have received, that people that we ask and who join have the opportunity to experience all of these things as well. They get access to our amazing books. They can get fulfilled by being able to get out of the house and having something for themselves and meeting new people, earning money. And as they become more and more successful, opportunities to earn trips and home office challenges, to have all kinds of feelings of success and accomplishment. And the opportunity that we have to personally grow and gain skills while doing this business is just absolutely incredible. Maybe you feel this one, and I know I for sure thought that I needed to be successful in the business, that I needed to know absolutely everything, especially being a green. I thought that I needed to have it all down and be ready to train from somebody from start to finish. Even though my team leader always told me that she was there to support me. But I really regret that I let this stop me, because I didn't have my first team member until I was about a year into the business, and I just can only imagine where it would be now if I had been recruiting from the very beginning. And part of why this is a myth is that some of the most successful people in this company express success. It's their enthusiasm and love of the books that gets them to be successful in the business. Also, we're all learning as we go. I know, as hard as I tried to know everything before I started building a team, it's just impossible. Things are always changing and growing. I know that I had only done maybe a couple Facebook parties before I had a whole downline of team members who were exclusively doing parties. And so we learned together, and it benefited us both to be able to go through that and have them feel like they were contributing to the learning curve. There's so much support and training available on our back office, our team pages. Anytime that you have a question, there's always a dozen places for you to go to get them answered. So never ever feel like you need to know it all. It's helpful to know where to find things, but beyond that, it's all there at your fingertips. And if you're not feeling especially successful, think about the little successes that you've had, because even those will mean a lot to somebody who is starting off new. And then feel free to borrow the success stories of other people, because amazing, amazing things are happening in this company. And then this one was really valuable for me to realize, that we can't assume what other people's goals are. I know for me, I had joined the business to make at least a part-time, if not substantial income. And so I assumed everybody else wanted the same thing. But oftentimes a lot of people join just for a little extra spending cash that they can call their own, or for something specific, like they want to have ballet lessons for their kid. So find out what their goals are, and they can be absolutely achievable. Not to mention that huge goals are achievable as well, but don't feel like you need to train somebody to become a director in 3 months when that may not be what they want right away. Keep that in mind as well. So we can sometimes make this assumption, and I think if we think about it, we know it's not true, but that somebody will just come to us if they're interested. And what I have learned is that lots of people aren't aware that there is even the opportunity, especially if you meet somebody at a booth or a school event. They may think you're hired by the company. They have no idea that they can join. And even if they do kind of understand that they might be able to make this theirs as well, they can have all kinds of assumptions if we don't give them the information. So they might think that you have a particular territory, that they're going to step on your toes if they join. They might assume there's too many consultants, which we know is absolutely not true. There are so many families and schools and organizations that need books. We are currently about 20,000 consultants, which is so tiny compared to so many of the other direct sales companies that have lots more competition than we do. So definitely don't make that stop you from asking or let them think that this is a saturated business to join. They can assume that it costs a lot to join or that they have to have inventory of their own or there's huge minimums. And we have such an amazing opportunity that's really risk-free. It doesn't cost a whole lot. You get a whole bunch of amazing books. So even if it doesn't work out, you haven't really lost much of anything at all. And then this one really kind of breaks my heart. They may assume that if you didn't ask them that you don't want them on your team or you don't think that they would be good at this. And we never ever want somebody to feel that way. So it's really important to let everybody know that this opportunity is for everybody. So, okay, so now you maybe have asked some people, and some people are going to say no. And you might start thinking that it's about you, that you were too pushy, you asked the wrong way, they didn't like you, you're taking it personally. And it's really important to remember that they are saying no to the opportunity and not you. We can invest a lot in the answers that they give, especially if we're new or we're trying to promote and we really are looking for new team members. But it needs to be something that we understand inside us. And every time that somebody tells us no, that it's the opportunity they're saying no to. And that's what we are offering. We are not offering ourselves. They are not saying no to us. So they didn't join when you asked right away. So they must not be interested. Katie Hewitt did a fabulous training on this where she compares recruiting to a baseball field. So we can imagine that our goal is to get a potential recruit all the way around the bases to home plate, which is when they join. Well, some people, it might be a home run. They might be super excited and they go all the way around. But the majority of people are going to need to take the bases a little bit slower. So this may mean that they need to have their own party first. They may have a lot of questions and need to do some research. They might need to check in with family and husbands and get support first. And so it's really a process of bringing them around those bases. And I recommend listening to that training for some tips on how to do that. And most people are really going to have some concerns to work through. And most of the common ones are, I don't have enough time, I'm too busy, I'm not a salesperson, I don't know enough people. And so you want to let them know that people are super successful in this business with just a couple hours a day, a week, a month, depending on what their goals are. That the books, matching the books with kids' ages and interests and just sharing those really does help sell the books themselves. That's really all we're doing is sharing what books we love and what books we think that their kids will love, that it doesn't take a whole lot of experience and there's lots of training to help them learn all about our product. And you can let them know that Facebook parties mean that we can reach people all over the place, all over the country, and give them some ideas of ways that they can meet new people. It can often be a fantastic way to get to know new people in your community. But oftentimes, underneath those common concerns is fear that they are going to waste their time and their money and not be successful. So we really need to encourage them and let them know that we will support them and do everything we can to help them be successful. But if you're just not feeling it, then you might want to give up, feel like you're not a recruiter. And what I will tell you is that there are very few people who have natural recruiting skills. There are certainly some amazing recruiters in this company, but most of them, I can almost guarantee you, have really worked at it. So a couple things that you need to become a great recruiter, and another good training in this is Laura Shagel's Becoming a Recruiting Magnet. You want to have the right mindset. So you need to bust these myths and be positive and excited about recruiting. And then I really think you need to dedicate yourself. You need to make it a priority to be doing the things that you need to be doing in order to recruit, having parties and events so that you're meeting people, and then practicing those skills, learning what the skills are so that you can keep asking people and get better and better at it. So we're going back to that mindset, that why would you want to recruit? It's income for other people. That's why they would want to join. It's more income for you as you recruit people and become a team leader and grow a team. You can make some amazing friendships with people on your team. I know I have met new friends and I've deepened relationships with people. The friendship piece has been so rewarding. As you grow in this company, there's tons of recognition that you receive, and you can give that recognition to other people as well. You're helping others, you're helping kids get books, you're helping team members grow and learn new things and feel success. And it feels amazing to see that happen. And I'm guessing lots of people join because promoting literacy is important and you can only do so much. You're one little being, and the more people you have on your teams, the more books are going to kids. So just quickly, a little bit about my why. This is my family. My son, Peter Levi, at the top is 8, and Tanner at the bottom is 6. And this is my husband and I at our favorite restaurant in Aruba. And we have been fortunate enough to go to Aruba several times where his family has a timeshare, and we get to visit with them and have a fabulous vacation. And really, if I had another job with limited vacation time, I don't know that we would get to travel and do the things that we are able to do. So I love the flexibility. I love being able to pick my boys up from school and help them with their homework, but also love all of the opportunities that I have with this business and how much joy I get out of it. And the bottom is the promotion cake that I got, and it's just represents the support and encouragement that I have gotten from my team leaders and that I hope to give to others as well. All right, so we're going to go back to the book that I was talking about, The One Thing. And, as you are thinking about becoming a team leader, thinking about recruiting more, you want to think about what your purpose is. We've talked about that a little bit. What's your why for wanting to do this? And then as you are more clear on that, you can start prioritizing the tasks that you're doing. And once you prioritize how you're spending your time, you're going to find that you become more productive, and that turns out to mean more money for yourself. And this piece has been so helpful to me. So oftentimes in this business, we will talk about goals, and we'll talk about big, huge goals, like your someday goal, which might be buying a house or letting your husband retire, quitting your job. Big, huge goals that are absolutely achievable. But we need to be able to focus and make those things happen. by breaking it down into smaller steps. And each one of these, I recommend that you write these down, all the words in black, and write down your someday goal, your 5-year goal, your 1-year goal. And as you're writing it, think about the one thing that you can do. And I love when you get down more to your monthly, weekly, daily goals, because this really will help you focus your time and not be so focused on those things you can just check off quickly, but the things that are going to move your business forward. And particularly the right now. Oftentimes I sit down for work and hop on Facebook and waste a lot of time. But when I can look and know what's the one thing right now I can do to move my business forward, then that really keeps me focused on what I need to do. So this is a Shel Silverstein quote, the woulda, coulda, shouldas. Again, it's so easy for us to waste time, or, it's doing things that may be important to us, but sometimes the things that we should do are the scariest and biggest things. And when we can do those first and get them done, calling that hostess and giving her some coaching, or calling somebody and booking a show, those things that are going to move our business forward, when we do those first, that's when we're going to find the most success. And so when I started thinking about, I want to make recruiting my one thing, I realized that I kind of need to make it a habit. It needs to be something that I feel absolutely comfortable with, that it's just a part of what I do in this business. And so I had the desire, and we've talked a little bit about that, and knowledge we can get by listening to trainings and talking to our uplines about what's worked for them. It was really, for me, the skill that I needed to focus on. And how do I make this a habit? And so this habit formation loop at the bottom was really helpful to me, particularly the part about setting up reminders. And so now I know that if I have a new hostess, the second time that I reach out to her, I'm going to ask her about joining. Because what I used to do is wait until she was closing her party. And by that point, she just wanted to grab her free books and be done. But then I could plant seeds and ask her throughout the process at particular times whether she was interested. I know when I'm in a party, I have heard people will put a little rock or a gem in their pocket. And when they feel that, they know that that's a signal to them to ask people at the party whether they would be interested. You want to make that a natural part of your Facebook parties, your home parties. When you're at booths, you need to have some words to say and some cues to yourself to remind you that that's why you're here and that's what you need to be doing. And then as you start doing these things routinely, it will become a habit, and you will start to see the rewards as your team starts to grow. So let's talk about some more recruiting habits. You may need to do some training. I mentioned a couple of great trainings, and there are plenty more in your back office. Don't spend a whole lot of time here. It's kind of that same thing. You don't need to know it all to start asking people, but it is helpful to feel like you know what the process is and to have some good words to use. And then you need to practice them and make them your own. It's really important to know what to listen for. So when people are really excited about the books and say that they want them all, if they're asking you questions about the business, how many hours you work, how much money you make, they're probably thinking that this might be something they're interested in. And so you want to listen for those and be able to dig deeper and ask them questions to see what their intention is. Practice, practice, practice. You can practice on the car ride on the way to a party. You can practice in front of a mirror. Certainly practice with your hostesses and your customers. The more you do it, the more comfortable it's going to be and the more success you're going to have. So working on your enthusiasm. So for some of us, we might be so excited and we might just ramble, ramble, ramble and be giving tons of information, way more than somebody needs. And we may need to tone it down just a little bit. And for others of us, we might be a little nervous about asking. And so we come off as, might want to try this thing I kind of do. And we're not showing how exciting the opportunity is and how much we love it. And so we need to pump up our enthusiasm a little bit. So once you've asked, it's good to review, and you don't want to take it personally or beat yourself up. But there may be something that you did that you can think about. You know what? I was just talking way too much about inventory when she wouldn't care about that. She wants to do Facebook parties. So it helps to be thinking about what you're doing and try to do a little bit better each time. So think about all those common objections and have your answer ready to go. So if we could help you figure out how to do this and fit it in with your life, then what would you think about this business? So those kind of words are really helpful to get you past those objections and see what their real fears are and if they're interested in the business. Definitely keep a list of your potential team members and follow up with them. And the key here is you go on the last information that you have. So if somebody was interested, until they say, you know what, it's not for me, no, not at this time, then it's okay to keep following up with them. You don't want to be calling them every day, but appropriately touching base with them, letting them know about different specials or inviting them to events with you. But keep in touch with them and don't just let them go. They may need some help getting around that baseball field. So, same kind of thing. Keep your contacts with your leads, stay in touch with them, make sure they're on your mailing list. Check in just to say hi and develop a relationship with you. So, when they are ready, they know where you are and they're excited to be a part of your team. Thank you so much. I hope that's helpful and good luck with all of your recruiting.